So here's a short demonstration on how to measure a tusk properly so that I can carve identical replica of each individual tusk. So basically we're going to picture the tusk being a long rectangular cube with 4 different sides, and we're going to have the top of the curl being the top, the underside of the curl being the bottom, and then there's 2 sides, and each side gets its own measurement. So now we'll measure the top. So we're going to want to measure from the base, and we're going to want to run it along tight. So the top of this curl is 48 inches. You could do inches, you can do centimeters, doesn't matter. And then now we'll run the top of this curl here, be the outside of this left tusk. So that top curl is 48 inches. The outside curl is 52 and a half. We'll flip it and do the inside curl. This is 52. Now there could be a difference depending on the structure, the shape, everything of the tusk. And now the bottom one's going to most likely be longer because it's got to come all the way around. And this is the bottom. Stay tight. We got 54 and a quarter. So essentially 4 different measurements. Record which one's which, and that's for the lengths. Now we also, what's important is getting girth measurements or circumference measurements. Now we'll start with the base. And the base of this one is 14 and 1/8. Now I would go you can go as many times as you want, just keep track of your distance in between, but for this sake we'll go every 10 inches. But here I've got a change in the tusk, so I'll definitely want to get that. So every 10 inches, so then we'll say this is 10. And I got 14 3/4. And then you would just keep going down, and we'll skip ahead a little. Here we have 13 and 1/8, and then obviously it's going to keep getting smaller as it narrows up. We're at 11, and then we'll jump way ahead, and we got 8. And then you can do the tip so that I know how narrow it gets. And the tip of this is 6 inches. So now that we got that, I can come up with a rough tusk shape. Now the other thing when we're talking about the important details is this tusk is pretty plain looking, but if say the tusk is snapped off right here at an angle, then I'm going to want to know some details about the feature, the measurements of the feature. Say the snapped off piece is like 4 inches by 5 inches. That's good to know, so that way I can carve that exact feature. As well as, say it's right here, I don't know how far up that is from the trunk, from the base, so we'll say from the bottom measurement, we'll say it's at 34 inches as the start, and then say it comes all the way up to the top. We'll get a top measurement and say that's at 36 on the top. That way I can get that perfect and carve that feature. And basically any other features, like this one, you know, any of these, if you want to be, you know, the more details and information, the more I can customize it and make it just like your tusk. And that's how you would go about doing that.